Alright, I start on time. Even it's just me. How do I feel about this lighting? Move this out a little bit. Alright, cool. So, welcome. I've been in this teacher training for the past 10 weeks. It's made by Lara.Heiman. I'll give you some description afterwards. So what we're gonna, this class is called Light Up Your Asana, because that's what we're literally gonna do. Just turn on the glutes. Find the difference between neutral pelvis and hip movement. So hips, kind of like, hula hoop, and then neutral pelvis right here, hip, external rotation, like you're a dog on a fire hydrant, so to speak. Stinky leg, so it's up. Alright, so we get started on our back. Take your block. If you don't have a block, go get one. They're pretty cheap. Order them online. I don't know. Take a block, place it underneath your sacrum, on the lowest part of your spine, and just begin to relax there. Bring your feet about hip width apart. Begin to settle into that block. Take your hands, kind of form a diamond like the rock. Place it to your two hip points, and begin to energetically dial your inner thighs towards each other. So you might do that by gripping more into your feet. And then we'll start with some hip flexion. So bring up your left leg over your knee. Now you have your hands to meet your hip joint, and then lower your left leg. Right leg comes up. Once again, feel where your upper thigh meets your hip point, and exhale, lower down. Just begin to move on your own. It's called hip flexion. Just creating space, marching it out. And you can still do this without a block on the floor. What this block is serving as a purpose is to show you what a neutral pelvis looks like when you're standing up, and it's beginning to create that brain mapping of a neutral pelvis. So when we go throughout our sequence, you won't have to align as much. Now, being that many of you don't have blocks, I'll show you some other ways that you can come back to check with that neutral pelvis. Bring your left leg up, take your right arm up, and begin to pull your fingers back, getting a nice deep wrist stretch. As you notice that your left leg is still lifted, activated, and you still have that neutral pelvis. Lower your left leg down, and then bring your right leg up. Your knee is over your hip, same thing opposite side. Right hand pulls back, the left fingers, just opening up that fascia in the upper forearms. Release your hands, lower your block, lift up from your hips, lower down to your back. Take your block, place it in between your thighs. You can go any type of shape that suits you best. I prefer the skinnier one. And interlock or 10 fingers behind your head. Draw your elbows towards each other, and then lift your knees up 90 degrees. Take a deep inhale to fill up. Exhale, lift up off your shoulder blades, and then bring your gaze towards your lower thighs. Where your fingers were into your hip crevice, where you were doing the marching, begin to consolidate all that core energy. Keep your legs as is. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift back up. You can squeeze as you lift your shoulder blades up. That's why we have our elbows inwards, so that can help us assist to lift up. Inhale to lower. Switching it up. We're going to do one more like that. Exhale, lift up. Lift your shoulder blades up off your mat. Squeeze your block, consolidate your lower core. Legs stay as is. Inhale, lower, down. Straighten out your legs. Adjust your block as needed. Once again, you may not have a block. You can use a book. Draw your elbows in. Inhale, lift up off your shoulder blades. Continue to squeeze your block. Now take your thighs and begin to extend them downwards until, your eyes are looking at your toes. Just look at it. Yeah, like that. I don't know. 11 o'clock. Now bring your legs back up towards you. Lift 1 inch off your shoulder blades. Inhale to lower. Keep your legs where they are. One more just like that. Exhale, lift up. Slowly begin to lower your legs. Make eye contact with your toes. Bring them back up. This time, reach for your ankles. Hands come behind your head. Inhale to lower. One more just like that. You can cry, you can scream. Just breathe. Exhale to lift up. Slowly lower down. Come back up. You reach for your ankles. Inhale to lower. Lower your block. Lower your feet. Place your block to the side and breathe. Yeah, that feels great, right? Take both knees to the left, working into our outer hips. Take your right arm over your head and find the little gap in between your wrist and your forearm. Making to straighten it out. Keep your right foot engaged and activated. And then begin to breathe along the right side of your body. Couple more rounds of breath. Just allow your breath to match the intensity of the posture. Come back to center, knees come over to your right. Keep your left foot activated. Left arm reaches over. You take your right forearm, slide down your wrist. Find the crevice in between your hand and your wrist. Stretch it out and breathe. Continue to keep your left glute activated. Come back to center. Second set of abdominals. Take your block, your book. If you don't have one, just bring your knees up over your hips. And walk out 10 fingers behind your head. Inhale, take a deep inhale to fill up. Exhale, lift up. Actually, you don't need a block for this. Change my mind. Extend your right leg. About 70 degrees. Keep your left knee over your hip and reach out through your right toes. Bend your right knee. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift up. Keep your right leg still. Extend your left leg about 70 degrees, reaching out through your thighs, your toes. Allow your breath to amp up to match the intensity. Bend your left knee. Lower back to the floor. Exhale, lift up. Extend your right leg. Now, take your right arm, and we're going to do a big karate chop. Like, you can, right across your left thigh. Now, press your right hand into your left thigh as you continue to squeeze all your lower abdominal region. Bring your hand behind your head, knee comes up, inhale to lower. No, it's not supposed to be easy. Exhale, lift up. Extend your left leg. Left hand, karate chops across the right thigh. Make the connection. Use your breath. This is 10 times harder to teach and do at the same time. Bring your hand back up. We got one more set. Lower down. Exhale, lift up. Extend your right leg. So, karate chop, interception, grab your right wrist. Oh shit, it just got real. Now we're going to lift up, squeeze, lower down. Last one. Exhale, lift up. Extend your left leg. We got the karate chop. We got the block. Grab your wrist. Lift up. Feel it. Love it. Breathe it. Fire up. Lower down. Let it go. All right. This is fun. Block. Block is not 100% needed. It does make it fun. It does keep you accountable. Quadruped or tabletop. Find your shoulders over your wrists, knees about hip width apart. Fire hydrant. Bring your knee up. Lower it back down to the mat. Left leg, knee comes up. Lower it back down. So what that block is doing is ensuring, once again, like we did in the beginning of class, that the neutral pelvis is being respected. It's keeping respected, keeping us accountable, keeping the integrity of the neutral pelvis. If I was to dip too much, I'd lose the block. So we don't need to go too high. And if you figured it out, why they call this fire hydrant. Do a couple more each side. Alright. I'm going to lower down. Take your block off your back. Place it to the floor. Transition to Dolphin. Place your forearms to the mat. Lift up your hips. If this doesn't feel comfortable for your forearms, you can interlock your fingers. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high. Once again, feel free to create a triangle with your forearms interlocking into your fingers. Grip into your mat, press into your forearms, lift your hips up high. Extend your left leg towards the ceiling, ground into your right toes. Working from that hip joint, begin to stir your left leg. Little movements here, like you're stirring a cocktail. You're going to do the same thing the opposite way. Stir your little cocktail. And lower down. Right leg. Actually, we're going to make a mocktail on this side. Because we're not drinking no more. I'm going to stir the mocktail opposite side. I'd rather have water than a mocktail. In child's pose. Bring your toes together. Knees come out. Yeah, just relax. Take that in. Send some gratitude to yourself. All right, let's keep going. Start off with Sun Sal 1. Feet about hip width apart. Just feel yourself grounded. It's the first time you're standing in this practice so far. Yeah, you feel it? You feel it? You feel lit up? I do. I hope you do too. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your arms over your head. Lift up from your rib cage. Draw your belly in for rooted, grounded. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, sit back into your chair as you place your hands or fingertips to the mat. Step your right foot back. Lower your right knee. Lower your top of your foot. Inhale. Low crescent. Arms reach up out of your rib cage. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands. Step back to a high plank. Bring your knees to your mat. Lower your chest. Lower your hips. Pull the mat back. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift up from your hips. Adjust as needed. Keep your hands still. Step your right foot forward. Lower your knee. Lower the top of your foot. Inhale, crescent. Reach up. Exhale, standing forward fold. Plant your hands. Left foot meets the right foot. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Sit back. Plant your hands or fingertips. Keep your hands as needed. Step your left foot back. Lower your left knee. Lower the top of the foot. Inhale, low crescent. Arms come high. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Peel the mat back for Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift up from your hips and back. Step your left foot forward. Lower your right knee. Lower the top of your foot. Inhale, low crescent. So, for those that didn't have a block, quick way to check your neutral spine. Hand comes to your lower back. Pull your tailbone down. Draw your belly in. Yeah. Exhale, standing forward fold. Plant your hands. Right foot meets the left foot. Second round, inhale, mountain pose. Reach up and mount. Exhale, forward fold. Sit back, hinge forward from your hips. Step your right foot back. Lower your knee. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale, arms come high. Take your left hand. Find that hip, that crevice in your wrist. Reach out. Take a deep inhale to fill up. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Bring your knees to your mat. Bring your chest, lower your hips, peel your mat. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift up your hips. Right foot steps forward. Lower your knee. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale, arms come high. Right hand grabs the divot in your wrist, left wrist, to create space. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Left foot meets your right foot. Last round, inhale, mountain pose. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge forward from your hips. Step your right foot back. Lower your knees. Keep your toes tucked. Place your hands to your lower back. Begin to draw your elbows towards each other to create an opening in your chest. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Bring your knees to your mat. Lower your hips, lower your chest. Keep your shoulder heads lifted. Inhale for Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift up and back. Look, footsteps forward. Lower your right knee. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale, arms come high. Hands come to your lower back. Draw to the sacrum. Draw your elbows inwards. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands. Step back to a high plank. I don't know if I did that right. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Peel your mat. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. No, I messed up, but it's cool. Step your left foot forward. Lower your knee. Inhale, arms come high. Plant your hands. Forward fold, right foot meets the left foot. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot back. Stay on your fingertips, so right leg is straight. Sequence 1. Come onto your fingertips. Dial your right hip down. Move into an airplane, so bring both arms back and expand your chest forward. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other and begin to lift your stomach up off your thigh. Extend your right arm towards your ears, your right ear, reaching out. Dial your right foot down. Bring your left forearm to your thigh for an extended warrior variation. Allow your neck to follow your spine. Use your left forearm to create space in your rib cage versus using it as a resting point or collapsing into the spine. So yes, use that to lift up. Pivot to the back of your mat. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot in. Ground your left hand for a crescent lunge. Left hand comes to the inside of your right foot. Reach open your right arm. Begin to pull your right shoulder blade into your back. Stay firm into your left hand. Deep inhale. Exhale. One-legged plank. Ground your right foot, right hand. Shoot your right leg back. One-legged plank. Feel everything lit up from your hands. You're strong in your left foot. Begin to alternate your legs. Right leg comes down, left leg comes up. One-legged plank. Left leg comes down. Right leg comes up. You got a couple more. Last one, lower your knees. Lower your chest. Inhale for Cobra. Exhale, lift up your hips, downward facing dog. Take your left leg high. Three-legged dog. Begin to stir your cup. Moving from your hips. Once again, little tiny movements. Inhale to fill up. Exhale, step your left foot 3/4 of the way of your mat. Standing L. Not standing split, standing L. So plant your hands. Left leg is bent. Begin to move your chest through your arms. Your left glute is on fire. Relax your neck. Begin to move your chest through your arms. Once again, feel rooted, grounded into your palms. Option to stay here. If you'd like, you can even take a hop if you want to. If you're going to take a hop, ground in, come to the toes, lift up. Why? Because it's fun. Right foot meets your left foot. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. This time, right foot steps back. Left foot steps back. On the finger pads, continue to lengthen your chest. Take your left arm forward. Oh shit, airplane arm, so reach back. Lift your chest up off your thighs. Feel grounded, feel powerful, rooted. Left arm reach forwards across the ear. Breathe. Dowel your left foot down. Bring your right forearm to your thigh for extended warrior variation. Once again, use your forearm to encourage the lift in your rib cage versus using this to collapse in your spine. Create space. We can rest later. It's okay. Begin to pivot to the front of your mat. I did something wrong, but it's cool. All right, pivot to the front of your mat. Right hand comes to the outside of your left foot. Ground into your right palm. Twisted crescent. Pull back. So begin to energetically pull your right hand from your left foot. Take your gaze wherever feels comfortable for you. Plant your left hand to the mat. Shoot your left leg back into one-legged plank. From here, we begin to march it out. Lower your left leg. Right leg comes up. Right leg comes down. Left leg comes up. Lower your left. Core is lit up. Move from your hips. The pelvis is neutral. You say any affirmations to keep you going. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Bring your finger pads off the mat. Inhale, Cobra. Lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Actually, I think I did it right. Bring your right leg up. Three-legged dog. We're going to do a little stir, minor hip movement. Same thing, opposite side. Inhale to fill up. Exhale, step your right foot 3/4 of the way into your mat. Standing L versus standing splits. We want a standing L. So fingertips or palms are grounded. Move your chest through your arms. Sit into your right glute. This is how you prep for handstand. If you like, if you think it's safe, you can do another hop here. I'm not going to do that because there's, I'm just not going to do that. Left foot meets your right foot. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, let it go. How are we doing? Cool. All right. 2 rounds of sun A. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back, high plank to low plank. Option to take an upward dog here or a cobra. Elbows drawn in, 1 foot at a time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Option to shorten your distance or walk in. Inhale to look forward, bend your knees, step or float to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back, high plank to low plank. You lower your knees, your chest, so you take a chaturanga. Elbows come inwards, 1 foot at a time, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees, lights, pop or float. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. High plank to low plank. Elbows squeeze in. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes high. So some options here. You can add a hop, bending your knee, hop up. Or you can just meet me in a high crescent lunge. Arms come high, then bring your hands to your hips. This is a good place to check in. Option to micro bend into your back knee. What we want to do is feel buoyant, ready to go. So you don't have to like stick it out, especially if you're going to lose the integrity of your neutral pelvis. So feel free to micro bend to your back leg. Launch off your left leg to airplane. Bend your knee as much as you need to. Continue to expand your chest. Maybe one or both arms come back. Use your gaze, use your drishti to find your balance. Option to bring your hands back to your hips. Slight external movement of the hip. Begin to open, grab into your left foot. Open up. Then exhale. Back to airplane. It's going to make it minor. Open up. Exhale, lower down. Let's do 2 more just like that. This is not supposed to be easy. Your left glute is on fire, but that's why we call it free your asana. Last one. So funny transition here. Turn to the back of your mat. Plant your hands for airplane on the back. Lower your left leg to the mat. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Right leg comes high. Exhale, airplane posture. Step your right foot through. Launch. That's what we have here. Again, lower your left leg. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Right leg comes high. Exhale, airplane posture. Step through. Find that buoyancy. Left leg comes down. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, airplane posture. Step through. Begin to bend your left knee. Twisted crescent to the left. Whoo! If this is uncomfortable, you got tight hips, extend your left leg. That's what I do. Find your twist. Whew. 2 more breaths. Now we're going to twist all the way to the right to come to the front to the mat, back to our quadruped tabletop. right where we started. Fire hydrant. Your booty's on fire, even if you don't know it. Let's get a couple more. Okay. Right leg comes up. Okay. So, lower your right knee, left hip comes up. Ground into your right hand, modified side plank. Begin to externally rotate your left hip. If you like, you can take your left arm up. Option to stay here, or you reverse into a tabletop. Step your left foot all the way over. Turn your glutes on. You reach up. Lower your left hand. High plank. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Inhale for Cobra. Locust. Everything lifts off your mat. Plant your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up. Once again, option to just step into your warrior one. If you'd like to add a hop, you bend your knees. It comes over time. There's no rush. High crescent lunge. Bring your hands back to your two front hip points. Once again, option to micro bend into your back leg. The reason I'm micro bending into my back leg versus hyper, this is hyper extension. There's no reason to be there because we want to feel ready, bouncy, ready to go. No reason to lock the joints out. Transition into airplane. Launch off your right leg. Once again, option to micro bend into your leg. Dial your left hip down. And same thing. We begin to open up your hip. Lower your left hip back down. Open up. Lower back down. Open up. Lower back down. Your right ass is on fire. Need some nice buns for the summer. Step your left foot back. Airplane to the back. It's like you're on the fucking Titanic. And you just, it feels great. Okay. Plant your hands. Right foot lowers. Three-legged dog. Step your left foot through. Airplane. Launch off your left leg. Right leg down. Three-legged dog. Exhale, airplane. Step your left foot forward. And you fly. Let's do two more. Lower your hands. Left leg comes up. Step your left foot forward. Fly down. One more. Lower your right leg. Step forward. Lower your knee behind your left calf. We twist to the right for seated twist. Once again, option to extend your right leg. This is not a posture that I can usually do, but for whatever reason, it unlocked in my body today. So just be grateful for that. Okay. So where are we going from here? We're going to twist this time to the left to quadruped tabletop. So whatever safe way I don't even know if it's the wrong way. Left leg comes up. Fire hydrant. The next time you see your dog, you want to be like, good rotation in the hips. My doggy friend. Keep your chest lifted. Alright, this time, left hand stays down, left knee stays down. Begin to open up at the right hip. You don't need to get booty lifts. You just need to come to my class. I'll lift that booty for you. Plant your foot. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Oh yeah, it's my class. I can do whatever I want. For your asana. Yeah. Plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Fingertips come off your mat for a wide cobra. Or locust, actually. Press. Wherever you feel tension, breathe into that space. Plant your hands, step back to a downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward, bend your knees, step or float to the top of your mat. We meet in chair. Inhale, chair. Actually, I'm going to stop there. Yeah. How long was that? 42 minutes? I promised you 45. We're good.